Hey everyone, it's John here from Hot Take Hockey to talk about the Washington Capitals, their cap situation, trade rumors, and specifically their recent signing of Christian Djoos through arbitration. So, of course, if you are here, please subscribe if you're new. Drop a like, every like counts. I'm going to go through some tweets here and some information through Cat Friendly and let me know what you think. So, first up, Isabel Kershudian from the Washington Post tweets, the Caps have roughly $935K in salary cap space per Cap Friendly, so it would make things much less complicated for them if Djoos' cap hit comes in lower than that. So that was obviously before Djoos signed the contract or arbitration declared the contract of $1.25 million per year for 1 year. And then the next tweet, logically it would be Djoos, Caps like him, but Siegenthaler was ahead of him by the end of the postseason, and organization already has a good pool of young defensemen. And that was asking a fan who would be on the trading block. So obviously, I think, in my opinion as well, I think the obvious one would be Christian Djoos. They couldn't get a deal done before arbitration. He went to arbitration, and it was still closer to the Caps request. The Caps request was about $800 to $900K, while Djoos' camp was closer to $1.9 million. So it's not like they lost, but they still went over that amount of $936K. And then you look closely, I don't know if you can see that, the four teams that are over the cap right now are the Toronto Maple Leafs, the New York Rangers, and Washington Capitals, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So the Caps are obviously one of those four teams, and they do need to make a move. And if you look at Djoos' stats, in 45 games with the Capitals last season, he had 1 goal, 9 assists for 10 points. He was a +9. So I think Djoos, he did struggle towards the end of the year a bit. Siegenthaler, like she said, was a little ahead of him, and I think they do have younger defensemen. I will say, honestly, in my opinion, I think Djoos, when they did trade Madison Bowie to the Detroit Red Wings, they got Nick Jensen back. At that very time, Madison Bowie was behind Djoos, but as the season went on, Djoos did have a lot of struggles. And if you look at their overall cap, you see on their defense group, they right now have 7 defense in their NHL group, and Djoos is one of them. So obviously the ideal situation would have been to have Djoos under that cap and been able to be right up against the cap. And even though that wouldn't have been comfortable, at least they would have been able to start the season that way. But now they do have to make a move, and the most sensible move would be to trade Djoos and just call up one of the younger defensemen. So I think that would be the decision here for the Washington Capitals. I think overall, you're going to see the Capitals back in the playoffs, and we expected them to be right up against the cap once again. And obviously, next offseason, they're going to have to re-sign, or before next offseason, they're going to have to re-sign both Nick Backstrom and Brayden Holtby. So that's something to consider as well. Obviously, they have some cap issues. I see some fans on Twitter wanting to trade Holtby and put the confidence in their 2 younger goalies in Copley and Samsonov. So if you go back to what you saw from the Capitals before this whole situation and before they traded Grubauer, having Holtby and Grubauer was very solid for the Washington Capitals, and I think they were very confident in that duo. But now things might have to change if you won't be able to lock up both Holtby and Backstrom. But I think that's going to be their priority for next offseason, or at least throughout the year. I think throughout the year and the season, if things are cooled down, if they're not too focused on too many things in the organization, then they're going to try to get those 2 guys locked up. So thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know what you think. Again, I think Djoos will be traded, and I mean, just the 2 teams right here. I think the Ottawa Senators and the Detroit Red Wings are 2 teams that will be rebuilding, retooling, trying to get assets from helping other people out. I feel like if you look at the Washington Capitals, maybe if you're the Ottawa Senators, trade for a guy like Christian Djoos. The Capitals attach a draft pick, and maybe the Ottawa Senators send one of their depth players over that could actually help the Capitals as well. So please subscribe if you're new. Drop a like. This was John from Hot Take Hockey. Have a good one. Peace out.